Hey, beautiful butterflies! Before we begin our episode, I want to let you know about what I'm doing in 2025 together with a community of Christian women who are ready to go deeper with me in their own self-development journey. I'm planning to read 12 powerful books, study the Bible with fresh eyes, teach classes, and hold discussions on everything I'm personally learning and processing in my own life. Things like parenting adult kids, helping teens go from childhood to adulthood, getting older, improving health, financial issues, dealing with big emotions, navigating tricky relationships, and more. Would you like to join me? Our theme in January is Metamorphosis, and so we'll be doing a 4-week class/workshop that will set us up for big personal changes in 2025. We're also going to be reading Everything is Figureoutable and studying the book of Romans. Members can get group coaching, and all of our discussions, coaching, and classes will be available to listen to on our private podcast. The cost is only $59 for an entire month. Join for January, and if you love it, stay for February. And if you keep loving it, you can join for a year and get 12 months for the price of 10. I want to make some big changes in my own life in 2025. Do you? Let's do it together. Go to joinflyinghigher.com for more information. And now, let's begin our episode. Hello, beautiful butterflies, and welcome to this week's Flying Higher moment. If you put a weighted blanket on top of a parakeet, what would happen? Would the parakeet be able to fly? No. What if you put a washcloth on top of the parakeet? The bird might be able to fly, but it would be hindered from flying with freedom. So what's my point? Well, when we are weighed down, we can't fly higher. Now, this can get us to get pretty discouraged pretty fast if we believe that flying higher means feeling great. If we believe we are flying higher only when life is smooth sailing, then some of us are doomed to never be able to fly high, right? Sometimes we think that we are somehow failing to fly high in our lives if we are sick, or if an adult child has cut us off, if someone we love is in the hospital, if our toddler is puking his guts out all over the stairway, if we have to spend Christmas alone, if our family of origin disapproves of us, if we are divorced, if we aren't divorced. But all of these things are actually normal human experiences. So does that mean nobody can ever fly free or fly higher? I don't think so, because I don't believe that's what flying higher means. Flying higher is something that happens inside of us that sets us free internally. So our circumstances, all these things outside of us, can stay the same, and yet internally we can be free. There can even be extreme emotional pain happening in our lives, and yet we can have a sense of freedom and peace within us. Now, if you've never experienced that, my heart goes out to you with tremendous and compassion and love, and also, though, so much hope, because even though you may have never experienced it yet, it is possible. And I do have so much hope and belief that you will experience it one day. If not here on this earth, then one day in eternity. But I also believe that we can experience flying higher within ourselves right here on this planet in the very middle of the darkness that so many of us have to walk through sometimes. What's the key? It's actually really simple. It's letting go. Just like a bird can't fly higher, or even at all, if it has a weighted blanket or even a washcloth on it, so we cannot fly when we are hanging on to controlling specific outcomes, controlling our circumstances. This is an impossible task anyway, and it only creates tremendous anxiety, disappointment, and dirty pain. What do I mean by dirty pain? Clean pain is just the clean pain of experiencing life as it is on this planet, and a lot of times it's very painful. Dirty pain is when we resist and fight that and try to make it not be so. That's dirty pain. We're adding that dirty pain onto the clean pain. Let me give you an example. At the time of this recording, Christmas is next week. Now, I have 9 kids. Some are married with kids of their own. One has a girlfriend. Others have jobs. They have in-laws and friends and a dad who wants time with them as well. And this means we can't always have Christmas on the actual day of Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So my traditional experience and the movie in my head about how Christmas is supposed to go is out the window. Now, I could complain about this. I could whine and guilt manipulate my kids into feeling sorry for me and feeling like they have to manage my emotions as if I was a toddler, and then I might be able to get my movie of how Christmas is supposed to go. Right now, I have a movie of how this podcast is supposed to go, where I'm able to talk into the microphone and it's quiet. And instead, I've got 3 dogs outside my door that are barking, and then I can't get them to shut up. So this movie is not going well for me right now. But that's just the way it is. Anyway, I might get it. I might get my Christmas that I dream of. And I might even get the quiet on the other side of this door. But at what cost? Think about all the emotional energy that goes into manipulating other people. The weeping, the crafting emails and texts with just the right amount of love. Is that really love, though? Mixed in with this pressure. Not only does that sound exhausting, but it carries the risk of losing anyway. Losing not only the imaginary Christmas that our little self demands to have, but also the relationships that, at the end of the day, that's what we really desire more than anything else in the first place, right? I mean, that's my favorite part of Christmas, just being with my kids and grandkids. And I can have that on a different day, right? Several years ago, after my divorce, I had to learn this letting go lesson. I didn't want to be that kind of mom. I wanted to encourage my little birdies to fly free and come home when they could because they wanted to, and they felt internally motivated to, not because they had to in order to make sure mom would approve of them. I want to be a mom the way God is a father and mother to me. God gives me freedom to choose and doesn't ever hang it over my head like a condemning, manipulative parent if I choose something wrong or make a mistake in wherever I'm at in my growing up journey as a Christian. How do I know? Because Jesus told the story of the prodigal son to show us how the Father is toward us. So whether we are the son who takes a wrong turn or the son who does all the right things for all the wrong reasons, God loves us the same. He's not sitting there wringing his hands over us in anxiety because God knows how this story ends. It ends with a party. So back to letting go. Just like the father let his son go with half of his inheritance, so we can find peace and rest in letting go of the things that we love and the outcomes that we want, and turn our focus away from resisting and fighting those realities and focus instead on who we want to be, how we want to show up within that reality that we find ourselves in, whatever it is. That's our work. That is the work we do in order to fly free and then to fly even higher. So this year we decided to do Christmas this coming Sunday on the 22nd. But this past week we've had 3 kids develop whooping cough. Yes, they are all vaccinated, but it's sweeping our community right now. We've had 1 child, 1 son-in-law, and 1 grandchild with the puking flu. We've had another grandchild hospitalized with pneumonia and 2 more with respiratory viruses. I had a heart procedure a couple of days ago and I'm still recovering from that. And at the time of this recording, we don't know if Christmas will come to us in the way we had planned. Will we have it or will we not? We may not know until the last minute. And you know what? I have total peace about that. I am holding it loosely. It's a movie where I don't know how it ends, but I do know this. I am going to show up with love for whatever comes our way. I have decided that in advance. Now, that doesn't mean I won't be sad or disappointed. It just means that I am ready and willing to allow those feelings, embrace those feelings, metabolize those feelings, and then find out what God has planned for me and for us over the next few days. Life is always an adventure full of curveballs and hurdles. But I don't need to know today what all of that's going to look like because I already know who I am, I know I will survive, and I know that I can love no matter what. And this is our work of deepening who we are, how we practice this. and how we grow up into the fullness of who God created us to be as adult women. If you're interested in doing this work with me, join my live mentorship program. It's called Flying Higher. Imagine that. This January, I'm teaching a 4-week class on how to intentionally create a metamorphosis experience in 2025. We're also going to read Everything is Figureoutable by Marie Forleo, and we're going to study Romans chapters 1 through 4. And I'm going to do some coaching with members as well, and I'd love to have you join us. You can go to joinflyinghigher.com to find out more information. This is not a group where we focus on abuse issues. This is a group for any Christian women who are ready to get down and dirty on the work of self-development. And if that's you and you're interested in that, join me. Again, you can go to joinflyinghigher.com for more information. That's all I have for you for today. Until next time, fly free and fly higher. Oh, and Merry Christmas.